I'll be fast. That way you can go. Just a short synopsis of what I've been doing. I've been selling insurance for 10 years. I know I look like I'm 12, but I'm 30. And I've been selling insurance for 10 years last month. I focus on you guys. I worked in dealerships. I worked at State Farm for 5 years, and then I worked in a dealership selling insurance and financing motorcycles and off-road vehicles. I ride a little bit myself, but you guys are my tribe and my people. And I work with dealerships I sell insurance in 9 states. My main states is Georgia and Alabama. But I work with dealerships. They send me new customers, especially younger customers. You know, you get a younger customer on a super sport motorcycle. Instead of the dealership losing the whole deal, I'll explain to the customer another bike that is just as torquey and fun, but a fraction of the price on insurance, and they're not running around on a super sport being 19 years old. I have relationships with dealerships. That's how I know Matt is just from working with dealerships and selling insurance to motorcyclists. One of my biggest things is education about the safety of insurance. A lot of motorcyclists and humans in general don't understand what their insurance covers until it didn't cover it, and then they're mad. The biggest thing as bikers that we have to worry about is somebody hitting us and them not having any insurance or our insurance not covering us. In the state of Georgia, there's 2 kinds of uninsured motorists, which is our biggest concern as a biker on the road. There is reduced by, and there is added to. Most people have no idea what the difference is. Their agent tells them it's cheaper, so it's better, so it's cool. It's not. It's terrible. If you're sitting at a light and 17-year-old Sally T-bones you and nothing too wrong, you have a broken leg, you need a leg surgery, you need an arm surgery, they have minimum state insurance, $25.50. You have minimum state and you have reduced by uninsured motorist. Your only coverage is $25,000 in bodily injury, and that's it. You're done. So I had a customer last year who was T-boned at a light. He had 2 hand surgeries. He was totally fine, but the medical bills of that was like $70,000. And when he sat on the road, he called me when he was sitting on the side of the road. He was okay. He's like, all I can think about is you explaining uninsured motorists to me, and I know this person doesn't have enough coverage. My hand's messed up. And I know that I'm going to have enough coverage because of what you did for me. So I don't just want to write an insurance policy. I focus on bikers because that's my tribe. And I like protecting people and making sure that they're safe. Not just with motorcycle insurance. I do everything. But I focus on bikers because I love bikers. And if there's any way that I could educate any of you guys, I appreciate the opportunity to be up here and you guys giving me some of your time. If you ever have any questions, if you guys ever know anybody that has any questions, young people that need education about insurance, I'm on social media all the time educating people about insurance. It's what I love. I built a business entirely so I could write insurance for bikers. So if you guys ever have any questions, let me know. And thank you for letting me be here. What was that?
Here's a question.
Yeah.
I've been riding since I was 15 years old. I've had a license since I was 18. I'm 66. How much of my previous experience of never having an accident, never having a speeding ticket affects what I do today?
Depends on the insurance company. That's why I chose to be an independent agent. So like,
and here's the follow-up. Because at 65, I got a speeding ticket. And my rates doubled.
Time to change companies.
And I did. But I mean, my rates doubled.
Yeah.
It was the only ticket that I've ever had. And I got it when I was 65.
Loyalty means absolutely nothing to insurance companies anymore, like it used to in the past, you know, where if you were with a company for a long time, they were giving you a heck of a discount. They aren't doing that anymore. That's not what it's about. That's why I chose to be independent. Like Geico and State Farm, those kind of people that sell that, they can only sell Geico, they can only sell State Farm. I just had a customer who's, I don't remember what it was, some kind of Harley, but it went up like $400 a year, and I've had him for about 3 years. I switched him. I was like, hey, your policy renews in 30 days. It went up $300. I want to move it to Allstate now instead of it being at Foremost. And he's like, cool. It hurt my feelings that it went up, so I was able to just move it and change, you know, same coverage, same agent. it's a matter of having somebody who can do that kind of stuff and who understands those kinds of policies. Because most agents are just going to tell you, like, well, I don't know, our rates went up this year, or you had a speeding ticket, so it went up X amount. It's like insurance companies. There's also, okay, so since you guys are into things that are happening in the state, there's also political reasons that make insurance kind of too much. In the state of Georgia, without the insurance commissioner writing it off, insurance companies can raise their rates, I think it's like 22.5 or something percent every other year without the insurance commissioner signing off on it.
Like a credit card company, just jack it up.
So is it our losses? Is it our hail? Or is it because the state wants to make more money? I don't know. So. Yeah.
Make up that 6 cents. I'm like, well, you do that on everyone else. Because a 23-year-old truck that I've had for years should never go up. It should always go down, especially when I'm a person who has zero accidents. I have zero anything other than I pay the insurance industry.
Yeah.
So claim, accidents,
Yeah.
everything should always systematically go down.
And it doesn't.
But it
And
went up.
sometimes it does. With some companies it does. Like right now, almost every policy I have with Allstate keeps going down every year. That will change eventually, and then I'll move those people somewhere else, you know? And writing insurance, and so I'm in 9 states right now. Every state has their own kind of like uninsured motorist, and some states have personal injury. That helps keep their rates lower. Out of every state I write insurance in, I'm in Florida and I'm in California, Georgia has the highest insurance rates in the country. And I only have one insurance. You don't even have to have insurance on a motorcycle in Florida. You can ride without insurance. That's probably part of the reason why it's cheaper, is because you don't have to have it. So you can, unless the dealership requires it, you can get on your bike and leave with no insurance in Florida.
Scott? Yeah, uninsured motors and uninsured excess.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference in cost as to what's the difference?
Okay, so the excess is the added to, and that the regular one is reduced by. Some insurance companies call it like excess and something else. You always want to get added to insurance, added to uninsured motorist. Every company calls it something different. Most insurance companies call it added to or reduced by. I think State Farm says in excess of, or I forget the exact insurance wording that it is. But you always want to get the added kind, because that makes the uninsured motorist its own coverage. When you have reduced by uninsured motorist, or it just says nothing uninsured motorist, it's usually a reduced by uninsured motorist. And that takes it away. So like if you're sitting at a stoplight and somebody hits you and you guys both have minimum and you have the reduced by, you essentially have no uninsured motorist at all, period. Because they cancels each, whatever the other person has who's at fault for hitting you, like clears yours of that. So if they have 25 and you have 25, it is higher. I don't know how much because I refuse to write it. I won't write reduced by. I don't check. A lot of times it's pennies. But it's a little bit cheaper, and the agent can write a policy, and the price made you happy, so sign right here. And when you have a claim, then you're going to be mad because there's not enough coverage, and you're not going to understand why. Yes? Change companies. It's insurance. When you keep your insurance with a company for a really long time, like right now in Maryland, I love when someone tells me they've had Geico for 5+ years, because I'm gonna crush that rate that they're paying. And they're gonna be like, what? It's $40 cheaper a month? Like, yep, because Geico just continually raised your rate every single year that you had them. And it depends on the insurance company. It depends on the state. When you feel like it's too high, it's time to shop.
When you shop, you go to another company, they write a list.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to the original company, again, with an older car, make it
Less.
less.
Correct.
Why can't
It always changes. It's kind of like what I do kind of have like a little bit of an answer for that. Insurance companies work like banks. Banks don't have the same interest rates all the time. If they're low on funds, they might need higher interest rates. And, certain banks, just like certain insurance companies, focus on certain kinds of people. So if you no longer fit their model, like right now, Allstate has a very, very specific model of person. And I know when I get that person that I'm going to send them right to Allstate because it's going to be cheaper than anybody else. It's credit score. It's so many different things, and it changes all the time. That's why you can't get a straight answer from anybody.
So how often should you check if another company every year, every other year?
As a consumer like myself, I check mine every couple of years. If it stays the same and I'm okay with it, I won't really check it. But for my customers, if I know that their auto insurance looks like it, I monitor every single renewal that I have every single month. And if it went up a bunch, I'm quoting it and I'm moving it for that person, and it's alerting me in my system. So that way I know that their rate went up a whole bunch. And I look at everything. I'll know what's a high auto rate, maybe I should try to quote that.
You were talking about with bikes and people aren't aware of exactly what their coverage covers also. I'm a volunteer firefighter out in Harris County, and that's exactly what happened when we had a tornado come through, is that people were totally unaware of what their insurance would cover and what it wouldn't. And when they thought there were going to be people that are coming in and fixing this and fixing that, and they're going, there's nothing. No, and because they wanted the cheapest rates they could, not understanding that they're not paying for certain coverage and certain things will not happen.
And it's not just a consumer issue, that's an insurance agent issue. That's one of the reasons I started my company down here. It's because I couldn't get anybody to return my phone calls. And I don't like not being able to write my own insurance policies, but it's education. I've had my prospects that I'm trying to win. I'm like, hey, have State Farm quote you this way and tell me what it is. And they're asking me how you know all that because they don't understand what that means. I'm like, well, that's terrible. They sell it. So I do. I brought a bunch. Every insurance company ever is soft. You will never see it, ever. And it's a completely different, yes, it's your credit, but it's different stuff too. It's your consumer rating index number or something, and it does include your credit, but it's never a hard pull.
You're right,
Yes, I do.
That's devious.
Life, auto, home, business, everything. Motorcycles. I probably have more motorcycles than I do anything else in my book. But it's because I work with dealerships and they send me new customers all day, and that's how I haven't started to market yet. So it's working good. I live in Harris County. I live in Waverly Hall right now. I've lived in Georgia for 3.5 years. I think I feel like I might have filled out the thing to do it when I was very first talking to you about it, and now I can't remember and I have to go look, but yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.